In the quiet town of Willowbrook, nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering willows, there lived a man named Jacob. An unassuming man, he lived a simple life, yet harbored a deep fascination for the unknown. Days were spent lost in the pages of books, each one a portal to mysteries, to the supernatural, to the oddities that lay hidden beneath the veneer of everyday life. But it was the unsettling facts, those eerie truths lurking in plain sight, that truly captivated his imagination. Little did he know these facts, like dormant seeds, held the power to transform his life, to lead him down paths he could never have foreseen. Our world, though seemingly filled with the cacophony of life, harbors pockets of profound silence. But there are those who claim that within this silence a sound can be heard, a low, persistent hum, audible only in the stillness of the witching hour, 3:33 a.m. Some dismiss it as mere fiction, a figment of overactive imaginations. But Jacob, ever the seeker of the strange and unusual, was drawn to this mystery.
I had read ancient texts, whispered accounts of this hum, said to be the resonating pulse of the earth itself, a bridge between the material and the ethereal.
Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Jacob decided to experience this phenomenon for himself. Night after night, he would lie awake, the silence of his room pressing in, the clock ticking down to the appointed hour. And then, at the stroke of 3:33, it began. A low, thrumming sound, barely perceptible at first, then growing steadily in intensity, vibrating through his very being. It was unsettling, yet strangely alluring. As the days turned into weeks, Jacob found himself inexplicably drawn to places he had never visited before, guided by an unseen force. These journeys, though seemingly random, always led him to unexpected discoveries: a forgotten antique shop, a chance encounter with a street vendor selling rare artifacts, a winning lottery ticket lying discarded on the pavement. With each experience, Jacob's wealth grew, and so did his conviction that the hum, the sound of silence, was guiding his destiny. Just beyond the town's edge, shrouded in an air of melancholy and decay, stood an abandoned mansion. Locals whispered tales of its former inhabitants, of fortunes lost and families torn apart, their voices forever etched into the very fabric of the building. It was said that if one listened closely enough, amidst the creaking floorboards and the rustling leaves, one could hear the whispers of the past, revealing secrets long forgotten. Jacob, armed with his insatiable curiosity and a growing belief in the power of the unseen, felt an irresistible pull towards the mansion. He stepped through the overgrown threshold, the air thick with the scent of damp wood and the weight of forgotten memories. As he moved from room to room, each one a testament to a bygone era, he strained to hear, to decipher the murmurs that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. At first, only the sound of his own footsteps broke the silence, but as he ventured deeper into the heart of the mansion, faint whispers began to reach his ears. They were fragmented, elusive, like wisps of smoke dancing in the shadows. He pressed on, drawn by an unseen force. Finally, in a dusty attic beneath a floorboard loose with age, he found it, a small wooden chest, its hinges rusted with time. As he pried it open, the whispers seemed to intensify, swirling around him like a ghostly chorus.
Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, lay a fortune in gold coins, each one bearing the inscription of a bygone era. The whispers had led him to a treasure, a tangible reward for his willingness to listen to the secrets hidden within the walls.
Chapter 3. The sun, a celestial artist, paints the world with shadows, fleeting reflections of ourselves that shift and change with the passing hours. But what if these shadows held a deeper meaning, a hidden language whispering secrets only we could decipher?
I began to notice a change in my own shadow. It seemed to move with an eerie sentience, sometimes lagging behind, other times stretching out ahead as if beckoning me forward.
At first, Jacob dismissed it as a trick of the light, a figment of his imagination. But as the days turned into weeks, the strange behavior of his shadow persisted, growing more pronounced, more insistent.
One day, while walking through a crowded marketplace, my shadow abruptly veered off, stretching across the cobblestones, pointing towards a narrow alleyway I would have otherwise passed by. Intrigued, I decided to investigate.
The alleyway was dark and damp, the air thick with the smell of stale spices and something altogether more ancient. As he ventured deeper, his shadow leading the way, he stumbled upon a small, unassuming shop, its windows filled with a curious assortment of objects.
I stepped inside. The shopkeeper, a wizened old man with eyes that seemed to hold centuries of knowledge, greeted me with a knowing smile.
It was there, amidst the dusty relics and forgotten artifacts, that Jacob discovered a collection of ancient scrolls, their parchment brittle with age, their inscriptions written in a language he couldn't decipher. Something about them resonated deep within him.
I purchased the scrolls, unaware that they held the key to unlocking even greater mysteries, their secrets revealed only through the whispers of my own shadow.
Chapter 4. Time, an ever-flowing river, carries us along its currents, each second ticking by, irretrievable, lost to the vast expanse of the past. But what if certain moments in time held a heightened significance? If the universe itself were sending us messages through the alignment of numbers, through the synchronicity of events? Jacob, his life now intertwined with the pursuit of the extraordinary, found himself drawn to the concept of numerology, the belief that numbers held a vibrational frequency, a language that could reveal hidden truths. He began to see patterns in everyday life, sequences of numbers appearing with a frequency that defied mere coincidence. But it was the recurring appearance of 1111 that captivated his attention. It seemed to appear everywhere he looked, on digital clocks, on license plates, on receipts, even on the pages of the books he read. At first he dismissed it as his mind playing tricks, seeking patterns where none existed, but as the weeks turned into months, the appearance of 1111 took on an almost eerie significance. It was as if the universe itself was trying to communicate with him, to guide him towards a specific path. Then, on the 11th of November, at precisely 11:11 p.m., a series of seemingly unrelated events unfolded, culminating in a life-altering opportunity. A chance encounter with a stranger led to a business proposition, a risky investment that went against all logic but resonated with an inner knowing that Jacob couldn't ignore. He took the leap of faith, guided by the recurring numbers, by the belief that the universe itself was conspiring in his favor, and he was right. The investment paid off exponentially, catapulting him into a realm of wealth he had never dared to dream of. Chapter 5. The world is a tapestry woven with the threads of countless lives, each step we take leaving an imprint. What if these echoes lingered, guiding us towards forgotten secrets? Jacob found himself drawn to the ancient oak tree at the edge of his property. The rustling leaves seemed to whisper tales of bygone eras.
I would often sit beneath its branches, seeking solace from my newfound wealth.
One evening he heard footsteps approaching, slow and deliberate. He turned, but the path behind him was deserted.
The footsteps circled the oak tree, stopping behind me. A shiver ran down my spine. I could feel a presence, a palpable weight in the air.
Gathering his courage, Jacob turned. At the base of the oak tree lay a small wooden box. He knelt down and lifted the lid.
Inside, on a bed of faded velvet, lay exquisite jewels, shimmering with an otherworldly light. The footsteps were meant to guide me to a hidden treasure, a reward for my belief in the whispers of the universe.
Outro. With each extraordinary discovery, Jacob's wealth grew, but so too did a growing sense of unease. The book that had set him on this path, the book that had revealed the hidden five, had also spoken of a price to be paid for such knowledge, a delicate balance between the material and the ethereal. As Jacob's riches multiplied, shadows seemed to twist and contort at the edges of his vision. Whispers followed him home, seeping from the very walls of his once peaceful abode, and clocks, as if frozen in time, repeatedly blinked the ominous digits of 1111. He had sought the extraordinary, had embraced the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. But in doing so, he had unwittingly opened a door to a realm where the veil between the living and the dead thinned, where the whispers of the unseen grew ever more insistent. Jacob had become a wealthy man, his pockets lined with gold and his life adorned with luxury, but the price of his curiosity lingered, a haunting reminder that some secrets perhaps are best left undisturbed. And so the book, its leather cover worn and its pages filled with unsettling truths, was returned to the dusty shelf of the antique store, waiting for the next curious soul, the next seeker of the unknown, to stumble upon its secrets, to embark on their own journey into the realm of the hidden five.